I'm Deb Svec. I am a secondary media specialist. I am the current president of FAME, which is the Florida Association for Media and Education, and I am currently the director-elect for Region 5 for AASL, the American Association of School Libraries. Cranium CoRE is a perfect vehicle/resource for me to make the Media Center an integral part to response to intervention, RTI. Most people don't think about the Media Center when they're thinking about RTI on a school campus, but the Media Center is a perfect place for students who aren't necessarily on a specific plan for their educational success. They just need a little bit of extra help. So Cranium CoRE, whether I use it in a whole class situation, which I often do with intensive reading classes, English classes, I've branched out to science classes, Cranium CoRE is just really, in my opinion, the perfect thing to engage students. And nowadays, many students, they're very hard to engage. They're drawn to things like video games, Game Boy, Xbox, or just plain watching videos. Many students today don't feel successful when it comes to reading. Using Cranium CoRE as a response to intervention here on my campus allows not only myself to see where students need extra help, but also when I use it in a whole class situation, it allows the teacher also to see as we go along after each chapter is read and we engage in the gameplay, if you will. The students are in collaborative groups. It's often interesting to the teachers to see exactly what kind of questions the students are missing, and that allows the teacher, or myself if it's one of my small reading groups, to go back and focus then on the types of questions that they're missing. And most commonly, students struggle with author's purpose, compare and contrast, and inferential questions. I almost feel like I'm tricking the students into better reading comprehension because, quite honestly, they just love the competitive nature of the game. And from what they tell me, as they read, now that they've experienced it, they understand now that at the end of each chapter, they're going to answer questions. And they aren't just literal questions, although Cranium CoRE does contain some literal questions. It contains 6 different types of questions. So they really are paying attention more to what they're reading, like the author's purpose. But the discussion that Cranium CoRE promotes often helps them, again, have a deeper understanding of what the author is trying to convey, thus equaling greater reading comprehension. I want to foster in students an intrinsic value for reading. I want them to learn who and what they love to read. This is a perfect vehicle for this. They become more successful at reading. As I tell all of my students, reading is the single most important skill that you ever acquire. If you can read, you can do anything. So as we interact with Cranium CoRE, and they do things like defend their answer, especially when it's author's purpose, they don't even realize that they are helping develop their own critical, higher order thinking skills. One of the things that I hear when I attend different informational sessions or attend conferences and sit in on presentations about 21st century skills, we have students that are quite adept at navigating video games, but they aren't transferring those skills into the workplace. So it is my hope that in interacting with Cranium CoRE, that the students will begin to be able to take some of those skills that they're acquiring here, critical thinking skills, and transfer them, whether it's post-secondary education or into the workforce, that learning how to think better is also going to help them, again, not only with reading comprehension, but help them in their endeavors outside of high school. Because quite honestly, if we teach them and they pass reading comprehension exams, that's wonderful. But if we don't make them lifelong readers with critical thinking skills, then we really haven't done our job as educators, because they need to be able to go out into the workforce and be independent and successful. But they just genuinely, honestly love the competitive nature of this game. It gets their attention because it is a game, but that's okay. If I'm tricking them into better reading comprehension skills, I'm okay with that. And to begin now in full swing with my group of Cranium CoRE users here on this campus, again, whether it's in a classroom with specific teachers or here in the Media Center with my small reading groups, as I show that the Media Center is a place that can be successful with RTI. So I'm thrilled to have these exciting new opportunities for students. It's pretty exciting when you walk into a classroom and students clap and cheer. They're not clapping and cheering for me. They are clapping and cheering because they are looking forward to the opportunity of interacting with Cranium CoRE. So for me here on my campus, it's been a perfect vehicle